Hello, I'm Tim Smith with the Adams County Historical Society. And today we're going to have another installment of our Battle Babies series. When we talk about battle babies, the most famous of all the battle babies, obviously, is the nephew of Jennie Wade. If you like the historical content we've been putting on our YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button and maybe share this video with your friends if possible. Lewis Kenneth McClellan was the son of Georgia Wade McClellan, the sister of Jennie Wade, whose tragic death occurred in this house on July 3rd, 1863. Georgia had gotten married in 1862. Her husband, John Lewis McClellan, was in the Union Army at the time of the battle, and she gave birth in this house to a child on June 26th, 1863. You might remember that it was on June 26th, 1863, that the Confederate Army first entered Gettysburg. According to a note written in a copy of John White Johnston's book in 1917, Georgia actually made the note that the child was born on June 26 at 3:30 p.m. And according to an account by John White Johnston written a couple years later, he said this was approximately an hour before Jubal Early's forces entered the town. Now, when Kenneth Lewis McClellan, he kind of reversed his name a little bit, died in Billings, Montana on February 12th, 1941, his death notice gained attention across the United States, and he was widely publicized as the youngest veteran of the Battle of Gettysburg. But as we will see here in a moment, there are a few other children that are younger veterans of the battle than Lewis Kenneth McClellan, who was born on June 26th. And we'll talk about those in a moment. A side note to the story of Jennie Wade is the fact that the house at the time of the Civil War was a duplex. Of course, Georgia Wade McClellan occupied the northern half of the duplex, and the southern half of the duplex was occupied by the McLean family. Isaac McLean was a member of the 165th Pennsylvania drafted militia, and he was actually wounded in April of 1863 near Suffolk, Virginia, and he died in a hospital on May 9th, 1863. As luck would have it, just 2 days earlier, his wife Catherine gave birth to a child, John Isaac McLean, in this house. I wonder if she knew that her husband was on his deathbed at that very moment. When Jennie Wade was killed on July 3rd, her body was actually brought through the building, out the side of the house, and Jennie's body and her family were in this cellar along with the McLean family for the duration of the fight. As I just mentioned, Lewis Kenneth McClellan was not the youngest veteran of the Battle of Gettysburg. There were 2 or 3, depending upon how you count, children that were actually younger than him during the fighting. And one of them was Laura Blueball. There was a house here at the time of the battle, which today is a parking lot. It was the Conrad Snyder house. Conrad Snyder had died on June 6, 1860. And in March 1861, just a month prior to the outbreak of the war, Conrad's daughter, Alice Jane, had married David Blueball, who at some point took over the Wagon Hotel, which was run by Conrad Snyder before his death. On July 1st, 1863, Union forces retreated through the town and rallied on Cemetery Hill, a short distance from us. Northern forces occupied the Wagon Hotel, and it became sort of a fortress. The families along Cemetery Hill were ordered to vacate their homes, and the Blue Balls were ordered out, and they were in the Wagon Hotel. They went 5 miles down the road, and according to the account, to the home of an uncle, Henry Snyder, near two taverns. According to the reminiscence of Amanda Epley Homan, who worked at the Wagon Hotel, quote, while the battle raged, Mrs. Blueball gave birth to a daughter at her place of refuge south of the town. So theoretically, the child was born on July 2nd or 3rd, 1863. The 1870 and 1880 census do, in fact, indicate that David and Agnes Blueball had a daughter named Laura, born in 1863. The family moved to Abilene, Kansas after the war, where Laura died in 1880. I have not been able to confirm the exact date of her birth, but Laura Blueball, a battle baby, is buried with her parents in a cemetery in Abilene, Kansas.